Hello, and welcome to Conversations for the Soul with Dr. Angie Gray and Yashica B, the Motivator.
Hello,
We are,
everybody.
yes, we are excited to be here today because at Conversations for the Soul, we have those conversations. Some of them are sweet and some of them are tasty, and then sometimes they may be savory. These are conversations that we believe are important. They are real issues, real talk by real women. And you are invited to actively participate by contributing your thoughts, insights, and questions. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to you dropping your questions, comments, etc. in the chat box. So please join us for this exciting episode of Conversations for the Soul with Dr. Angie and Yashica B, the Motivator.
Thank you, Angie. That was so awesome and so well said.
You are welcome.
Yes. Well, this week has been, oh, that's me, because I was trying to share it to my Facebook page. Technical difficulty, I need to turn it down. This week we lost an icon, Miss Cicely Tyson, to the communities. She was like of course she was and is a legend, and her legacy will live on in all of us that ever watched her on film. But it was just something about Cicely Tyson that just made you think that she was always gonna be here. She's been here so long, 96 years.
Yeah,
Can you
very
imagine
fine.
how much history you saw, lived, and created in 96 years? I was so touched when she did the interview with Gail King and she said, I did my best. And so to her, I dedicate I'm doing my best, Miss Cicely Tyson.
Amen. I love that, Yashika B.
What do you think about that, Angie? How did you
Well, I tell you, I
I even dressed up for her, you see?
I love it, love it, love it. I just, I just started thinking about her body of work when when I learned the news, and I happened to be in Bible study when I learned the news, and it was just like, oh my goodness, it was a blow because I didn't expect it. I don't know why. I mean, at 96, we probably should expect them,
Mhm.
but at that, at the particular time, I just was shocked. And I began to think about, like I said, the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. And I just can't forget that amazing transformation that they did in that particular movie. And it just was, I think that was, for me, that was the one movie that I just really always remember.
Mhm.
And, recently she was in the Tyler Perry movies and all that. But I tell you what really stuck with me was the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman.
Yes.
And she was also in Sounder. So she's got quite a body of work. I can't even remember all of the um,
The
movies
movies and
that she was in.
yes.
And I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like running through the movies in my head. So that's what I'm doing.
I the night I
Oh,
went,
she was in Roots.
ma'am. What you say, Ruth?
He was in Roots.
Yes.
Dr. Dre, he
And
just
then
said,
she was the original Harriet, remember?
she was whom? I'm
The
gonna.
original Harriet Tubman, remember?
Yeah.
The movie.
Yes, the original.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, yes, she was the original. I was telling you I even dressed up for the occasion. Decided to add some extra stuff on me. I went
I'm trying to
backstage.
put you in the screen here, and I put myself in there by accident.
Okay, no, you can leave it double.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, you can leave it double. That is fine. And because I kind of lost my train of thought when that spin went whoop, whatever that just happened. And I see we have people coming in. Hi, Kelly. Thank you guys. Like this afternoon. We're talking about the legacy, the life of Miss Cicely Tyson. She passed away this week at the age of 96. Forever, her legacy will be etched. I was just about to go into that particular night, that evening, and I didn't realize that she had just completed a book. That it was actually her book was released on the 21st. So I ran to Amazon and I grabbed it. I didn't care. So my sister and I was looking. I think it was yesterday, and she says I didn't get it, and so I said okay. So we were looking. It's sold out. Books a Million, Amazon. A couple other places she went to Walmart, Target, all of them they're sold out. So she was able to. She was supposed to hold it at the library, but the library didn't quite have it yet. It's coming, and so I was like, you know what? But I got mine. I did get my
Oh,
opportunity to
good.
share the book.
It came to you already?
No, it'll be here Sunday.
Oh, okay,
As
awesome.
a matter of fact, today is Sunday, but it'll be next week Sunday.
And I'm going to just drop it in the chat box so that when it comes back in stock, people can get it so they can get. I'm going to put the link there for
Yeah,
us.
I love going to Amazon because I like Audible. I like to hear. So I like to hear the music because hear the music. Yes, that too. In her book, in the audio version, she and herself and Viola Davis narrated. She was
Oh,
a
nice.
narrator, so it was really good to hear that. So I did both ways: the narration, the narrated version, and also the hard because I like the whole. Remember I told you I like the whole books in my hand, I like to touch them.
Right.
So I did both forms of that.
I'm trying to put the link in here. It's not cooperating with me here.
Oh, somebody was able to tell us that yes, Liz Tillman said she and Miles Davis was married for a while. Talk about a power couple. Yes, yes,
Yes,
I
they
read that as well.
were.
Mm-hmm.
They were indeed for married for about 8 years, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
yeah.
what I read, and I didn't know. I didn't even realize Larry King. I was watching all. It was amazing to see all the different photos of Cicely Tyson, her transformations from young to mid woman to older woman, and beautiful, just stunning, and again, just always elegant. If just carried herself so well. There's something, someone to really look up to, or really, I can say, exemplifies a strong Black woman in her own skin, being beautiful and classy and delicate, all in the same. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And I tell you, as I sat, that just triggered something for me. It made me start thinking about all of the people, all of our icons that we lost in 2020. So it's been quite a losing I don't want to say a losing season, but a season of grief and loss for us because we lost a lot. I can think of, it's funny when we were speaking earlier, I just started thinking of ones that had passed recently, and I could think of 20 off the top of my head. So I don't even really keep up with them like that. Some people pass and you don't even remember. You're like, wait, when did they pass? And then,
Hmm.
so it's just been one of those crazy times. And a lot of them, believe it or not, passed from COVID. And it's just like, wow, COVID took out our icons. So if
Hmm.
they don't care, if COVID doesn't care about our icons, we got to be really careful.
Hmm.
So that's something to think about. So Liz Nolly Tillman says, Miss Jane Pittman totally changed the way I looked at water fountains as a kid. Yeah, I can see why that is. Oh, I didn't realize she was on there. She also said that Liz Nolly Tillman said that she was on How to Get Away with Murder. I don't remember. I didn't even realize she was on there. How about that? How to get away with murder. Yeah, so we got a lot of good ones. Dr. Gray says she was in Roots. Yes, she was. So we had quite a few bodies of work, part of, quite a few movies that are part of the body of her work. So, wow, she was really an icon. So, and then I see Delasper Griffin. Oh, she was okay. Gotcha. You are correct. Yes. Thank you, Delasper. Thank you so much. Yes. And yep, exactly. I remember now. You guys are definitely on it. I'm just a little slow, I guess. So yeah, so we have to pay homage and give tribute to such a beautiful young lady. And I say young lady because even though she was, up in age, she was 96. She's 96, right? Yeah. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I turned my mic down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just to and the last time I remember really seeing her was at Aretha Franklin's funeral. Remember,
Mm.
she came in with the big giant hat. The hat was like all over the place, dragging behind her.
Mhm.
That's the last time I really remember seeing her.
Yes, yes, we
So
have.
wow.
You know, Cicely Tyson left this week, but who really got me when you mentioned last week, um, excuse me, last year was Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
I felt like that was, I felt like that was me. Then we had Kobe at the beginning of the year, then he hit like maybe 2 or 3 months after, I think it was, and so that was really what shook me last year. I said, wow, and then
Yeah, I agree with
gave
you. That
birth
one
to
caught me totally off guard because he was working while he was dying. And it was just like, wow, that shows you some dedication and commitment to the craft.
Mhm.
And they were saying that it wasn't fair that he didn't give them a heads up that he was sick, because he didn't tell anybody that he was sick. Only his very close circle knew that he was sick.
Mhm.
And, as I thought about it, I realized that what he did made a whole lot of sense, because would he have been able, would they have made the same decisions about hiring him for roles if they knew that he was sick? Would they have, would they have been looking at him with a sympathetic eye instead of the masterful craft that he exhibited? Would we be saying, oh, people felt like that because he was sick? So there were a lot of pieces to why I get it that he kept it to himself. It made a lot of sense after a while. And oh man, I left my cup in the kitchen.
Well, yours is coming. I made it. I put it in the mail tomorrow morning. Yes, I put it in the mail tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
coming,
thank you.
but I'm gonna sip my water.
Do you need me to get you something?
No, I'm good. So yeah, so he was the Black Panther, and I tell you, I just remember going to see the movie, and my husband, oh my goodness, he was like, all he kept saying was, "I can't believe it! They actually making a Black Panther," and he was so excited,
I waited for
Mhm.
you to tell the kids.
so excited. He said he was waiting for it since he was a kid, and it was just amazing.
Yes,
And
yes. Like Miss Sanders says, he had a purpose. He left this world showing up, and it's because she wrote that, because I was actually going to jump in there and ask that question, because right now we have lost a lot of people, a lot of in our
how do I fix that?
short period of time. With COVID, and then also where we are now with Miss Cicely Tyson leaving, that people, it's just a reminder that we don't have as many days as we think, and we don't know when that hour, when that day or that time is coming. So I would just wonder, just ask people, what will you leave? What will you leave behind? What will your legacy be? Or if you're even working to leave a legacy, are you still living each day as if you have 100 plus more years in front of you? Because at some point we'll look at it and say, you know what, I have more behind me than in front of me. And I know some people say, oh, we'll live forever. But are you living every day to the fullest? That's just something to think about. Where are you, Miss Angie? I see you popped off. I can't hear you. You're muted.
There you go. Sorry. I am here, and you are definitely on to something there, because I think we have to, particularly now, we have to be very conscientious about the legacy that we leave behind, and to just to try to leave a legacy, not just for our families, but from my perspective, from our kingdom, for the kingdom. Like, we must leave a legacy for the universe, because we want to, as Les Brown says to us, we want to live full and die empty,
Absolutely.
meaning that we have robbed everything from the cemetery. We don't want to leave our gifts and our talents and those books that are inside of us. And yeah, I'm pointing at you, Yashica B,
I
We
know.
don't want to leave those books inside of us. We want to get those books out. We want to get those movies out. We want to, all the things that are inside of us, we must be willing to do the hard work, even if it is hard, even if we are afraid, even if we don't see a how. I know you like to speak about not seeing a how. So she could be, tell me about that.
Yes, that's a mindset thing that we have to work off of. That if we can see it in our minds, that we can imagine it, we don't have to worry about the how. Because if you are a believer and you truly put it out there in the atmosphere, the Holy Spirit, the God you serve, they hear it. He hears it. The world hears, the atmosphere hears it. And it's really going to reverse back to you if you believe. And worrying about the how, it's like you don't have to worry about how you're going to get something. It's coming if you really want it. If you really channel that your mind to it. There are some things that I have done over last year, even up to now, that the average person be like, well, how is that? How I don't worry about the how, and 9 times out of 10, when you get into the point now, is where you don't worry about the how. But I think that's a lot of what stops us because if we say, okay, I want to, I want to get a new car, or I want to get a new house, or I want to write a book, but I don't know how you know, or I don't know how it's going to happen or what I should put in it or do I have enough finances or I don't make enough, those type of things. I think we spend a lot of time on it. Granted, I understand, but at the end of the day, if you're living to your fullest, do you really have to worry about the how? Or can we
Wow.
just assume the how is coming?
That's an awesome question. And I tell you what I have found for years. I've always had these dreams and these desires to do this and do that and to make a difference and all that. But I tell you, it wasn't until recently when I got a coach, when I got a mentor, Les Brown, Coach Talarico, doing those things, investing in yourself is so important. And you never, I think we as common citizens, so to speak, not common, but you know what I'm saying, that we're thinking the coaches are for the athletes and therefore those people who are elite and business executives and all that. But honestly, we all could use a coach in our life.
Right.
And generally, it should not be a family member because family members, they're a little emotionally tied. They might not give us the best advice. So we need uh, a person outside of our frame, as so to speak, because I know you speak about the frame all the time, but a person that can look at us from a different point of view. And that person, that coach, generally will see something that we have in us,
Mm-hmm.
but we have yet to embrace. We have yet to recognize it and to know that, yeah, this is something that I can do. It may be things that you think about, that you want to do, that you dream about, but will you actually do those things if you
I was
don't have
looking at,
somebody pushing you?
mhm. I was looking at Miss Tillman's comment. I'm looking at my phone, um, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't have it on the screen yet. So Ms. Tillman says that unfortunately, many of us don't believe we have a legacy to leave. But thankfully, you, which is Dr. Angie, oh, you put it up there? Okay. And others are helping to change that. Yes. And also, Ms. Tillman, that really is something that we really had to work on because I think culturally, we think that if we're not, like Dr. Angie alluded to, running the ball or dribbling the ball or running track, wait a minute, running the ball. Wait, hold up. Well, football's throwing the ball, right? So, well, you know what I mean. Football,
It's a message.
y'all know I chew up some sports now.
Really?
I would tear them up.
It's all
And
good. It's all
that's
good.
honest to me. I mean, it is honest to me. I would tear up some sports. Well, football, basketball, baseball, track. But mainly football, basketball. We think that's it. As far as the culture, that is absolutely it. That we have nothing else. I messed up when I tear it up in a minute. That's just it to us. All we have are those, and that's the only key out. But no, we have something that's so much more powerful than that given talent of being a sport athlete. And this the ones that we just don't think about. It's right here. It's in between our ears. Our
Mm-hmm.
mind. Our minds can free us, can deliver us, can move us. As
Yes.
a matter of fact, your mind can move the pendulum and take the ball from one end of the field to the next. If you just believe and think differently. Like Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change.
Yes.
Your perception is everything. The perception, because you can perceive something as create a whole scenario that's really not reality. And sometimes that I'm using a new word I'm going to coin non-reality. Perhaps that you don't have a legacy because you do have a legacy. Your legacy is just in between your ears. It just needs to be poured out. We need to just believe more in ourselves. We have talented people who are writers, who are just speakers, and not just speaking on the stage like we're doing right now, but somebody who can speak to a youth. You know, you just might be just passing by or in the store, and it's just might need to say hello. You never know what you're leaving, what nugget you can drop, but just take a chance to do it. Just don't leave anything for happenstance. You, one
Yeah.
day it will happen because that one day may never come. Take it, just run with it. Like I did. See what I did? I did all this extra today just because I needed to just step up my game a little bit and just believe. I know the mind is the hardest thing because it was an NAACP in back in the 80s, 90s. I just remember when I was in elementary and high school. The mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah.
They need to do that again. I don't even know why did they start running that. That tag is so important.
Yeah.
And especially now that we're learning more about it's stuff that you already knew, but for whatever reason, we didn't bite off into it and really believe that you could really see it and achieve it. Because that's even believe it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it.
Yeah.
Why are we not speaking on that more in our culture, in our neighborhoods, and to our children? If you can see it, you can believe it. And it's like, oh no, I can't. No, we want to see it here, in between our ears. We want to see it in our mind. We really don't even know what the mind looks like. We just assume the mind is the brain, but it's not. It's the whole body. It's the whole concept. You know,
Yes.
the whole mind, the soul. And if we get
Absolutely.
that place to say, you know what, I want this, I want it bad enough. I want to leave a legacy behind. Even if my legacy is writing a book, yes, I'll eventually. It's so many stories that I have heard, and still hearing in the gyms and the barbershops. I'm like, why are we not writing this down? Why are we not recording these? Why are we not leaving? Even if it's like Dr. Andy told me, it doesn't matter how long this book is, but this book needs to come out.
That's right. You gotta get the first one out. Gotta get the first one out.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 20 pages. Just get it out.
Yes, and
And
that is yeah, she did. She gave me that. That's where we are now. And I did write a chapter in another friend's book about mothers and daughters. So I did do a chapter in that. It's coming out, I think, around March. Oh, but that's still not me. I know.
but it is a start. It
It's
is
a
a
start.
start. You
Yes.
gotta give yourself credit. Gotta
Mhm.
give yourself credit where credit is due. And
Absolutely.
speaking of where credit is due, I'm gonna just grab a couple of comments off of here
Mhm.
and you can go ahead and respond to Mr. Lasper. Mr. Lasper, did you get your book? So let's see what she says about her book. But anyway, go ahead and take a look at that.
She says, I am working hard on Amori's journey because I want to leave a legacy of being a connector of souls. Wow. I looked into her story a little bit. I listened to a podcast that she had done, and also it was just something she did that stood out to me. There was a child, an autistic child, that she took a doll, and that was part of her just giving. I just met Mr. Lasper through just this forum right here, y'all. She's
Mhm.
in I think the southern part of the nation, Louisiana. However, but her heart says to help children with disabilities and an autistic child. So I was so touched and moved by that. I was like, I have to donate to your charity because I want to give I did a doll to an autistic child. What difference that made? So we want to one day I want to definitely talk to her and just get that background. Oh yes, it is amazing. I'm actually using it in my master class. Yes, that's
Nice.
doll because we think that think about it how we're moving on to this technology world. Everybody wants iPads, but a doll. Do you remember when you got a doll when you were little? Remember how when you want how what that did for you? A doll,
Yes.
a stuffed animal.
Warms your soul. It just makes you feel responsible and
Yeah,
loving and caring. Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yes.
We have two. We have a black lab and a Scottish terrier. Oh boy. They are
I said a dog. I'm talking about a dog. DOLL. You
oh, Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. I thought you said
She didn't say the dog to the
dog.
child.
I thought you meant the puppy. I got lost. I'm sorry.
Oh my Lord. The last one she said, oh no, she did not say the
I
dog.
had baby alive. Yeah, baby alive.
Baby alive.
Oh my goodness.
Who had a baby alive? Come on, somebody had to have a baby alive. No,
I did.
black baby alive.
I don't think so anyway. It's been so long ago.
Anyway, you made me look like a crazy, but it's okay. It's
No,
all
I
good.
didn't.
I thought you had moved on past the dolls.
I think I went back in time. I think that's why I stayed there. I think that's why you don't went down the road. I still down here waiting. Like you done left me.
Lasper said I killed her. No. The Lasper had a baby alive and she killed her.
No. Oh no.
The Lasper, that's not cool. Baby alive, pee, and cry, and drink a bottle.
Oh no, I want to know.
Come on, you're not that young. They still have baby alive.
They do not.
All right, so let's keep moving here. I see Mr. Williams has something very poignant to say. He says, if you breathe, you have
Oh, wow. He hit that one.
Wow.
Whoa.
Mr. Williams,
Whoa.
you're on time with that. And yet, not only if you breathe do you have a legacy, but you must leave that legacy. And don't take it with you, because when you take that legacy with you, we're all robbed. Oh my gosh.
That was like,
I'm back to messing with the Lasper now. I know that was a serious thought, and we're going to come back to that. But Lasper chopped off Baby Alive's head. Really? Come on, you can't do Baby Alive like this. She was like a real baby. She felt like a real baby.
Now, see, I had a daughter that I didn't chop her head off. I was detached like that too. Like, oh, I like the stuffed animal type deal. Yeah, sure. But I'm still touched by Stephen Williams. If you breathe,
that was an awesome statement. And earlier he had mentioned also that we have to move with a sense of urgency. And that is so correct, because we never know the time or the day or the hour that we will be taken away from here. That's why it's important to live your best life now. Live it in the present, not saying one day I'm going to get to it, because that one day may not get to us. You may not. It's just one of those things that's not promised to us, and we have to be careful. We have to do our best right now, today. So Dr. Gray says, Stephen Williams, thank you for trying to inject some seriousness into this conversation. The guys got
no.
They talk about killing dolls. Oh, come on.
Okay, just for those who are just tuning in, what we were talking about, Mr. Lasper sent a doll to an autistic child, and I thought how profound that was, that just something as simple as a doll. And so I was talking about the dolls a little bit. Miss Angie jumped in there and talked about, she went from a doll to a dog, and then Mr. Lasper said they're talking about a baby alive. So we still talk about the doll, and that's how we got to that. We're not talking about, so no, we're not talking about killing dolls or the conversations about dolls, but that's how it kind of it took us back to when we were children, and we were the feeling that we received when we had dolls, because now everybody's technological.
Demetrius Tolper said we better get right with the Lord.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, yes. Like yesterday. Oh, y'all stop it.
In the name of Jesus. All right. I think we need to move to syndication and not live, because people messing with us live. You know what I'm saying? They just coming for us.
Oh my goodness. I know. No. Amen. Okay, Miss Sanders. Do
Wow.
not take her with a dog.
No, I'm sorry. I was working on my comments over here and I thought I heard you say dog. Sorry. All right. So anyway,
Yes, back to thank you guys for interacting. That makes it so
yes,
much
we
better.
love it. We love when you interact because it helps us with what we're doing. What we want to have conversations, and although it is just the two of us talking, we're bouncing off of you guys. So please keep it coming. Keep it coming. We love the comments.
And
And
remember to like and share our page, Conversations for the Soul. Like and share. That's right. It was unscripted. That's King Iffy McCoy on Thursday nights. Unscripted Voices Thursday nights
Thursday nights.
at 5 Central Time. Unscripted Voices. And as they say, we don't get ready, we stay ready. So it's a platform for speakers to speak.
And that's on Facebook, right?
Facebook Live.
All right. I put it in there. Put it in the box so we see it. Thursday nights, 5 p.m.
We don't put a plug in there for unscripted. So Dr. John, you're gonna have to talk to you have to talk to Iffy. I'm not because we'll get into that whole conversation on unscripted.
Oh yeah, reminder to like and share, guys. Like and share. We forgot to mention that in the beginning. My bad. So sorry, but you still have time. Like it and share it.
Like it and share it. Like it and share it.
Demetrius Tolbert, I'm so glad you are enjoying it. We are so glad that you joined in and that you are
That's
doing.
Demetrius. Yep. Thank you. And especially when it's a male, other than Dr. John, we had quite a few tonight. We had Iffy and Stephen and Dr. Gray. Yep. Oh wow.
Okay. So,
Listen, guys. I said this is conversation. But that's okay. We don't mind. You and your queen will be there together on a special family unscripted. Oh wow.
so
Wow.
Dr. Brown, if he just called us out, he said, me and you going to be there on a special family unscripted. We looking forward to that, Iffy. Looking forward to my brother.
Yes, and when you guys do, we're definitely gonna share that one to conversations. So we can see that. That's gonna be cool.
Absolutely. That
Cool.
sounds like fun. That
That's
sounds like a whole lot of fun.
yes.
So yeah, so on there, tell us a little bit more about it, Yashica B.
Unscripted Voices.
Yes.
It's a platform that Iffy McCoy created where speakers speak, and the speakers do not know their topics. He gives you a topic, and 5 seconds after the topic, he counts down and go. And you have 5 minutes to speak on a topic that you do not know, and it's all unscripted. So whatever comes up comes out. But again, it's speakers speak and always are ready to jump on, jump and go. So that's the good thing. So they won't be as tongue tied as I am tonight. I don't know what's going on with me. So, so it's nice on Thursday nights at 5, and it's a closed group. However, after we do the live and it's used with the group that's there with the unscripted, then we can also share it publicly so people can actually see. So when you guys go on, we're definitely going to share it to our pages so other people can have I say be blessed with that greatness because it is a great platform, a great opportunity to just get out there and speak off some good stuff. So, believe in yourself. Absolutely.
Believe in yourself.
That is another platform to just believe in yourself and bring it on out. That's good that she did. Hello,
hey, Carol.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
How are you? That's another one of our sisters. That's another one of our sisters from Les Brown, Power Voice.
As we reflected over Miss Cicely Tyson's death and a lot of other deaths that we had in 2020, we asked the question, what will you leave? What will you leave behind? And with that, we did get the question, a legacy. What legacy will you leave? What legacies are you working on? Are you working on a legacy? Or what are you doing to prepare yourself to leave something? Or not even just to leave, to live full, to live as completely full as possible. What are you doing today? And if you're doing something today, it should be more than you did yesterday. And when tomorrow comes and we are blessed to see this side of the dirt, it should be better than it was today. Each day, we should be living our complete openness, truth, and to the fullest, because we do not know when that day or the hour will come.
Yes.
Oh, that's the last one, Power Boys.
No, Delasper was from Power Voice.
But
Oh,
we have to get you. We have to get you on unscripted. The last one.
yes,
Yeah, we got to get you on
absolutely.
unscripted because it's a group of Power Boys. Most of them are coming from the Power Boys speakers. Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So, if anyone wants to take this opportunity to just drop your legacy in there, that would be great. You drop it in the chat box. What do you want your legacy to be, and how are you working towards that legacy?
And
So,
as they're dropping stuff in, I see she put truth. There's one thing that I'm learning. Every single day is a new journey for me, and every single day is a new learn, a new as she said, a new truth for me. Getting to that place to where you really accept yourself, and like Miss Hunkin said, believe in yourself. And then, as we mentioned before, you have a legacy. And Mr. Stevens said, if you breathe and you have a legacy. My grandma didn't leave anything tangible, however she left us in the time. Yes, because you have those memories, those sayings that was left behind, the
yeah,
wisdom. Mhm.
the wisdom and the sayings. And I tell you, I was best friends with both of my grandmothers before they passed. And let me tell you, I learned some funny stuff from them, some serious stuff, some save your life stuff. You know, grandparents are no joke. When they talk to you and you sit at their feet, boy, and they combing your hair or whatever, you can get some good stuff. So
Mhm.
it's important
Yeah.
that we stay in touch with our grandmothers and our elders. Our elders, it's important because when you get them talking, it's like going back in time with them. You can see what they are talking about. You know, you can experience. And a lot of times, the wisdom part of it, you don't understand until they're long gone. You don't get it until until you grown and you got your own family, you got your own grandkids, and you're like, oh, yeah, I know what she was talking about. So it was good. You know,
And
it's
there's one thing
good.
that my mom used to say: "Don't start nothing you can't finish."
Yes.
And I was always thinking that had something to do with, arguing. Don't start that you can't finish. You remember, don't start that you can't finish. But when you think of when it was actually in relationships, in marriage, don't start
Yes.
anything that you can't finish. Don't start cooking for him every day if you can't finish that way. 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's impossible. Don't even start it.
And that's fun because
They were like, oh, she coming for us. Stop it.
I'm quite sure my grandmother was a lot older than your grandmother because she was 94 when she passed, and I'm a lot older than you are.
Uh-huh.
So what I know is she told me that same thing, and she would remind me. I said, "Oh, I'm running here to do this and do that for my husband," and she's like, don't start nothing you can't finish."
Because if it's not in you to do all that, like right now, you guys have been following me. Y'all see me in that kitchen.
Yes.
That's just something I just do. I like to eat, but I just don't delight in standing in front of that. Like I say, switching in the kitchen. I just don't delight in that. Give me something else to do. I go outside and cut that grass. I go outside and wash a car. I just did that home that part. It just missed me. It just went right on over there.
Wow.
It just
Wow. It's all good.
it
We're
just
gonna
roller
get you
skated,
there.
jump, high jump, hurdle, whatever you want to call it, over me.
Let's grab this comment from Delasper real quick.
Mhm.
So she says, I was a connector of souls, teaching parents and special needs parents to connect with the soul of their nonverbal children through the arts. My legacy is the soul connector for my daughter. Love that. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What you laughing at? I know you're not laughing at Delasper.
No, I love the last stuff. I want to know more about. I already told her that I want to
That's
know more
exciting.
about her.
Delasper, drop your information and your contact information,
Mhm.
your website or whatever in the chat box so we can go check it out.
She also has a nonprofit. Because I did act. Look, you see that? That's.
I have achieved my legacy by making Yashica come to this show early without struggling with her hair. and listen, Stephen Williams said I don't have any hair.
Okay, y'all cutting up.
Because I was talking about the grandma combing the hair.
Stop
Oh
it!
my
Stop it! Stop it!
goodness.
Listen, on Thursday, the thing about it, it turns we're getting used to this camera, y'all. We talked about that on the first couple show. Just bear with us because we're getting used to all of this camera. So it turns you kind of this way. So if I'm over there trying to fix my hair and I'm like, wait a minute, it's going the wrong way because I'm looking at it. And so I do that, and it just so happens that it's usually on Thursday nights at maybe like 4:59, right before we start. It's just we start at 5, maybe like 4:59. I don't know what happens. The hair just jump out. So anyway, so
I know what you mean. The Lasper was nice enough to drop her information into the chat box. So anyone who's interested in that, please go ahead and grab that website so that you can check it out. Sounds like it's a very touching journey that she's on. So I'm looking forward to reading about that.
And I was also privileged to make her 2 coffee mugs and a shirt. So I can't wait till she receive it so we can see how that goes. Yep. thelasper.com.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
These are coming. Conversations for Your Soul.
Yes, talk about that for a minute.
Okay. Well, this is mine. Angie's is coming. She doesn't have hers yet, so I hadn't made it. So these are the cups. This is what I do, and I realize that this really relaxes me to create stuff. To create it either in the cups and T-shirts, or I was in there last night in my office last night making stuff kind of late, and it really relaxes me. Sometimes I don't touch it. That's one of the beauties for working for yourself, because if I have an order, I can literally go in my office. It's like 7:45. I can go in there at 10 o'clock, and I can stay in there all night long, and then just get it done. Because as we talked about that, because one thing about it, if I feel like I'm behind, I'll get it done until the next one. Even if I'm in there when the sun comes up, but it's fine with me because I love that entrepreneur side of me, that I can do what I need to do side of me, that I can do it on my own terms.
I like that.
I love. So yes, I make them. I do custom gifts, coffee cups, T-shirts, and on the side. So I'm not on the side, on the front. There's nothing on the side because it's just our creation. How we perceive it. No, this is my world. This is my world. So
I like it. Well, Yashica B, the eclectic.
Yes, that is me, the eclectic. I have struggled with that, and I am finally coming to my own and just loving. I do life my way, on my terms.
Awesome.
And I've been doing it for a while.
Me too. That's the best way to go.
Because it works for me.
When you're trying to be somebody else, it's not going to work. You could be the best. Look.
Okay.
You could be the best anybody except the best Angie Gray. That's the only best I can be. So.
Somebody that really stuck that I said, you know what? Can't nobody do you like you.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think about it, really, that's true. Nobody can do you like you. So you might, and especially you do the best version of you. I love that. Just do the best version of you.
And that's what we must strive to do. The best version of you. Yes, absolutely.
Each day we're on this side of the dirt. I feel like, man, you've accomplished something. I mean, we're on this side. So I'm like, thank you. Because there's a lot of people that just didn't make it to this side. And we can't take that for granted. And that's where we started off talking about the death of Miss Cicely Tyson. We cannot take life for granted. We cannot take the minutes that we have here, the second. And I'm going down to the seconds because when we talked about the death of Miss Cicely Tyson, I never really, sometimes I share it, sometimes I don't, that my husband passed away from ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. And I always, people say, you don't live, tomorrow's not promised to you. But now I back it up and say, well, you know what? This minute, this hour is not promised to you like the other hour. Because if you research ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, it's a neurodegenerative disease that slows, it's like your muscles are dying. It's like a stroke in your spine. So your muscles are dying off. So whereas I'm doing this right now, a patient with ALS can be doing this right now, then right?
You can't.
That movement. And so that's why when I say you never know what the next, I break it down. I say, no, you don't know what the next second can bring, because that's just how life changes. That's just how much we are moving in life. It doesn't necessarily have to be like running and getting to a next job, but even your body, everything is moving. And it can just stop. Life as you know it can stop in any moment.
Yes.
And be completely altered, completely different. And you have to adjust from where you are and move on, move forward. Just don't stop moving.
Yeah. And to your credit, I just want to just mention just how strong you are. You clearly are a strong Black woman, a woman who has been able to not just be a veteran, out in the field,
Mm-hmm.
but you have earned veteran status in your home
Yes.
because you took care of your husband to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of what you did with him, you use that as part of your legacy. So certainly my condolences for losing your husband, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I also want you to recognize what he left in you. He left a big piece of who you are right now, because I know you did some nonprofit work with ALS, and you've done a lot, and because of all of the things that you've done in the past, you're able to be who you are today, the motivator, because you can say, listen, if I can get through that, you can get through this.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, I just absolutely love you, my sister. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. And that's also, Angie, why I tell people sometimes too that we are moving and life is fast, but it's okay to slow down. The first 7 years when I started the nonprofit, I started it in 2016. I ran hard for 3 years. In the first, he passed away in 2012, and I was running, 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 running. In the 15, 16, 17, I think it was all about him. Every business, and I'll tell you, I'll tell you how many businesses I started. A serial entrepreneur. So every business was all tagged. It's like, man, and you don't know you're in these places until you know you're in these places.
Right.
And so you just don't know until you just know. It just kind of hits you. So on that seventh year, I backed up and just took it very slow. And I said, and I was looking at my life. I said, okay, are you living the way you want to live, or you living because you're basing things off of trying to bring them back? Thinking, okay, what if I work this hard, I can bring them back, or if I do this, I can save another person. So
And
I was still dedicating so much of me to somebody else.
I'm going to ask you to hold that thought, because
Mhm.
I tell you what, I'm going to ask you to come to my show, and I'm going to sit down and interview you about exactly that, because you have a lot
Oh, okay.
to do.
Look at that, y'all! I got an interview.
It can be valuable for
Mhm.
others who are going through struggles. And as
Mhm.
you know, Dr. Ray does the pain to purpose,
Mhm.
moving from your pain to your purpose. Uh, this is all part of it. So we're
Right.
all in this space together for a reason.
Isn't that
So
something? How the spirits connect.
yes,
And I mean, it is
absolutely.
something though. Who knew? Who knew?
Right. Because look at what happened with us. I mean, we met in Atlanta and we saw each other for 10 minutes and it was like, oh my gosh, that's my girl. So,
And we had one word that joined us. And you know what? That may be a trivia question. We might say it tonight, but that might be a
we
trivia question
met a
down the
few
line. You may
times.
be able to win a t-shirt, a cup. So we're going to say the word tonight, but who knows when we might bring it back.
Absolutely. I
The
like
one
that. And
word.
somebody may win a prize if they can come up with that one word.
Yeah, one word. The one word that connected us was
So,
3 letters.
yep. So, Yashica B, it's about that time. It's time to start working on closing out.
Okay.
And in
Just give
doing
everybody that
so, I just wanted to just take a moment to remind us of some of the greats that we lost in 2020. And the list is exhaustive. There are so many people that we lost. But I did want to make mention of a few that, have really touched all of us. Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Congressman John Lewis,
Mhm.
Katherine Johnson. She was 101 when she died.
Hidden Figures, right?
Hidden Figures, yes, yes, absolutely.
101.
101, yes. And then we had another one up there that was 99, Alfred Thomas Farrar.
Mhm.
And he was a Tuskegee Airman. And he died the month before his 100th birthday. So
Wow.
yeah, so we had some up there, and then we have even the young. We have 39-year-old, 43. So I'm just going to read off the names. And Jas Waters she was the one who was 39, and she is the writer of one of my favorite shows, This Is Us.
Really?
And yeah, so she passed. She unfortunately took her own life, I believe. That was the rumor. I never followed up to make sure to see that they had confirmed that or whatever. But when it first came out, that's what they said. So we had Pop Smoke. We had Reverend C.T. Vivian. And the funny thing is, Reverend C.T. Vivian and Congressman John Lewis died on the same day, July 17th. And, he was a big civil rights leader. And another civil rights leader, Bruce Boynton. Now, nobody really remembers that name, but that name is critical because that is the person that started the freedom movement because of his refusal to get up from the counter. And that was Thurgood Marshall is the one who argued that case. And that really started the movement. So there's a lot there. There are a lot. And then we had Tiny Lister. You remember the movies Friday? He was Devo.
Yes.
I can't believe Devo is gone. Like, really?
And that one was recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He was well, all of these were in 2020. His was December 10th. So yeah, he was. Yeah, and then there was David Dinkins. He was the New York City first Black mayor, and he beat out Giuliani to become the first Black mayor. The incumbent was Giuliani at the time. So yeah, John Thompson. He's the coach. Betty Wright, cleanup woman. That's probably old for you. You know anything about cleanup woman?
Yeah. That's every Saturday. I'm from Alabama. Every Saturday morning, you woke up to the blues.
Yes, the cleanup woman.
Yes.
Little Richard.
Wow.
John Chaney.
Bill Withers.
Mm.
Oh man. Johnny Nash. I'm just looking at the singers right now. Johnny Nash, Andre Harrell. He discovered P. Diddy, and he discovered Mary J. Blige. I mean, we talking some heavy hitters in here that passed.
I didn't even know all of these because COVID masked a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of.
We had Gail Sayers. You remember? Wasn't that movie about Gail Sayers, the football player?
Brian Song.
Are you asking me about a sport?
But it was a movie, girl.
A movie about sports.
Brian Song. Look, Brian Song. Who was in Brian's song?
Watch your mouth.
Oh.
Who was in Brian's song?
Is that a movie? Brian's song is a movie?
Yes.
My movie is just bad.
I don't think anybody can answer that. Where's the last bird? And
Billy D. Williams.
And Miss Dolly Tillman, who was in Brian's song?
Billy D.
Is that a movie though? Brian's song?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm so
yes.
I think I probably know more about sports than the movie. Brian.
So anyway, I happened to meet this young man a few years ago, and he said to me, I'm going to give you a hint. Do you want my arm to fall off?
I don't know.
Billy D. Williams, girl.
Oh,
Look at that face.
I told you I'm just
I'm showing my age now.
Wait a minute. Billy D. Williams didn't pass.
No. He played Sayers, Gail Sayers in the movie.
Oh, okay. You see, now you give me a history lesson, a lesson on these movies and characters and actors, because I don't know this. Now this is all you. I'm just gonna listen and learn. I have my
right. I know you know this one. Jeanette DuBois.
Yes, Good Times. That was
yes.
Yep.
So she's gone. I mean, we lost a lot of talent, a lot of gifted people, a lot of icons. Joe Clark. Now, anybody in education should know who Joe Clark is. Lean on me. You got it, girl. Look at here. They teasing you, Yashica B. Look at this.
Yeah.
They teasing you, girl. Look. Yashica B was like, Billy D, who? Yeah, really? Crazy? No, she was showing her age. Wow. Yes.
Oh,
so, ladies and gentlemen, as you reflect on that list of people, please think about your own legacy. Yashica B posed a question to you early on. What will your legacy be? So as we close out this show, I want you to all think about what it is that you will leave behind. And one of the things that I loved was when Mr. Williams said she didn't leave any tangible legacy, but she left an intangible legacy. And that to me is more valuable than a tangible legacy. We must be willing to leave. It's not what we leave for someone, but what we leave in them. And I heard, and that came from one of our brothers, John Ugaloo, Dr. Ugaloo, in the Power Voice, in our Power Voice cohort. And yes,
Morale booster.
yeah, morale booster. Yes, yes, absolutely.
And he said, say that again. He said, what now?
He said it's not important what you leave for your family and loved ones. What's important is what you leave in them. And I love that. That speaks to me. That speaks a lot to me. So if all hearts and minds are clear, I want us to just have a little conversation about that. If anyone wants to drop anything into the chat box, go ahead and do that. And then if we don't have any comments, Yashica B, I want you to go ahead and close us out. So I'm not seeing any new comments. So Dr. Gray says, thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much. Our third member.
We want to thank everyone for tuning in. You all did a wonderful, wonderful thing by engaging us in conversation and allowing us to have a good time, allowing us to be ourselves. And that is so much appreciated. And I just want to run through real quick and give a shout out to everyone who joined us. Pele Honkin, Liz Nolly Tillman, John Gray, Delasper Griffin Sanders, Stephen Williams, Carol McZeno. You see anybody? Am I missing anybody? Demetrius Tolbert.
Yeah, Kelly was on there.
Yeah, so McCoy. Yeah, so thank you everyone for just doing what you do, just being part of this show and helping us to grow and to become better and to just allow this to be part of our legacy that we're leaving behind, that we are reminding others. I see a comment here from a Michael Hennel. Let's see what he's saying to us. That's a great perspective. Needed to hear that. I often think of leaving stuff behind. Amen, sisters. Thank you. Thanks so much, Michael. We got Samaj Naylor. Thank you. Nicoria Cooley.
What are you saying? Me is you're the legacy? That's my daughter. Because she says me is she said that's the legacy that I'm leaving behind is her.
I love it. Thank you so much, Pele. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you, each of you. So Delasper said that she received our book. So we want to give away one more book.
Okay.
You know the routine there, Yashica B. Give me a number between 1 and 50.
First one that came to my mind.
All right, you guys start dropping your numbers between 1 and 50 into the chat box.
Don't you give it away.
What are you talking about? One good sip at a time. 7 principles for spiritual growth. So start dropping your numbers in there. 1 through 50. 1 through 50.
1 through 50, Nicoria.
We got Keith Davis. Hi,
Keith Davis. You see, I need some more pictures. Okay. I see 39. I see 34. Mr. Gray, Dr. Gray, you on our team. Get out of there. Okay, Samaj. Samaj is the closest so far.
We got. Kelly,
get out of there. You won.
Kelly,
the number is, are we ready now to reveal the number?
Yes, we are ready.
You're ready? How many more we got coming up so we make sure?
I think that's it for me. That's all I'm seeing.
Okay, I see Linda Heyman. Was that the last person?
That's the last one I see. Yes.
Okay, we just hit an hour, so that's our time. Can you see it? 25 was my number.
5. Let's
Oh,
see.
25 was my
Go
number.
on, Pele again.
Haley got 27.
No, she went over. So
She went over. So,
She's the
okay.
closest to 25.
but she's over the number though. So you have to go under, right? And then how you do it?
So that would be Samaj Naylor. Samaj, we need you to reach out to us with your information so that we can get this book right out to you.
Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
Facebook Messenger. Drop a message in Facebook Messenger with your information and we will get the book out to you. Please do it now, because if you wait, I'll wait, and then you won't get your book. So
Yes. And please like and share our page, guys. Thank you so much. And if you have anything that any topics that you think that you might want us to talk about, we don't mind you putting them in messaging us on our page. But you have to go to our page, because if you don't go to our page, we won't know you're there. So that's Conversation of the Soul, not our individual page, but Conversations for the Soul. We are also on YouTube. We have a Facebook Live. We have a website, which is conversationsforthesoul.com, that you can drop us some information there. Thank you. We love all of you. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, as you go out your day, think about what legacy will you. This was a story to give. Think about what legacy will you leave behind. What are you working on today that was different from yesterday? What are you going to give to the world? Or that they'll say, you know what, you came by this place. You came by.
yes, we want to leave a footprint, a huge footprint, before we leave this earth. We don't want to take it to the graveyard with us. So we thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for these conversations.
If you don't get off that toss, stop the stick. Don't get, and you know what? Don't get me started on that one, because you know
Conversation.
No.
He says, "Stop the steal. Stop it. Out of control." We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next Sunday at 7. Looking forward to it. And as we said, as Yashica B mentioned earlier, if you have a topic that you would like us to address, please feel free to drop that into the chat box. Reach out to us on Messenger if you think of something during the week. Whatever. We would love to hear from you. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to hearing from you, and looking forward to having you be part of our show and part of the conversation. We thank you. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.